to the question answers. On the basis of your understanding of the poem, take the best choice of the answer. Okay, so first one, who is the speaker in this poem? Who is the speaker? A diplomat? No. A poet? A Jewish refugee? A journalist? So what do you think? I think it's a Jewish refugee. So the third one is the answer. So A you can mark. The third one is the answer. Let's see the B one. How is the third line of each stanza different? Now you must have noticed that every third line is different. Why it is different? Because it is repeating. You know, the repetition is there. But they weren't German Jews, my dear. But they weren't German Jews. So this is, but they weren't German Jews, but they weren't, because it is repeating. So we call it repetition. So this is the poetic device here. And why they are different? Because they used to change the mood. Absolutely, just. So it conveys a positive message. It addresses someone close to the poet. It reverses the mood of the two lines. Yes, this is third one is the correct. It reverses the mood of the two lines. Again, it is the third one. Let's see the C one. What is the tone of the speaker? So what is the tone of the speaker? Is he happy, cheerful? Let us see. Thoughtful? Obviously he is thinking. Instructional? Is he giving instructions? It seems so. Satirical? No, he is not being satire. He is not like laughing on the society. Gloomy? Yes. Sad. So I think again it is the fourth one. Fourth one. Gloomy. This is the correct one. Now what is the next? That is the second one. Where do the narrator and his companion want to go? So the narrator and his companion, they wanted to go to their own country, to their own place, to their own residence, to stay. Why are they unable to do so? Because they are being harassed by the non-Jewish. Why did the consul bang the table? Why was he angry? The consul banged the table because he was there to help these people, but he was also helpless and he could not help them. That is why he was getting irritated and agitated, and in that agitation he was banging the table. Why was he angry? Because he wanted to help them. He was there for that work, but he was helpless. That is why he was angry. Now, what was the refugee offered by the committee? He was offered chair by the committee to sit down. What did they ask? They asked that they were helpless and they asked him to come next year. What was his reaction? His reaction was absolutely, he was stunned that yes, I'll come next year, but what about today? Where is he going to stay today? So that was his reaction. Now let's come to the next question, that is, what did the narrator see at the harbor? So the narrator saw the fishes swimming freely in the water. That is what he saw. What did the refugee see in the woods? He saw the birds chirping freely in the woods. What did the refugee see in his dream? He saw huge buildings with thousands of doors and windows open. Isn't it? That's what he saw. Now let's come to the question number 8. What is the setting? No, 7. Who is looking for the refugees? So 10,000 soldiers, they are looking for the refugees. You can write down the answers with pencil in your book if you want. Now let's come to the question number 8. What is the setting of the poem? So the setting of the poem is a city place teeming with German Jewish people all around, and they go to the consultant and all, but they are helpless. They go to the committee, even they are not able to help them. They yearn for to go to their own city, and they also yearn to be free like animals and birds. Now question number 9, the poem talks about the human rights violations suffered by a pair of German Jewish people during the Second World War who are trying to find some refuge. What are the difficulties that they face? Now, what all the difficulties which you've read in this poem, you can jot on that in your answers. In your answer, for example, like uh, they're not able to renew their old passports. They're not able to take any help from the consultant. They're not able to get any good words from the committee or any politician. So all these things you can jot down. Now let's come to the question number 8. Which lines in the poem imply the following? Complete the table. Now see, lines from the poem you have to jot down here, and the meaning is already given. So like for example, it is a large city with nowhere to go. So I think this is the first paragraph. Say this city has 10 million souls. Some are living in mansions, some are living in homes. So you can write these two lines in that first, for the first one. Second, meaning is given, we are being wiped out of existence, we have no identity. This is about your passport, isn't it? Old passport can't do. That, my dear, old passports can't do. No, you can take this one. If you've got no passport, you are officially dead. So this is fourth paragraph. So you can do it in the fourth paragraph. Okay. Now let's come to the third one. Even in my dreams, I see no place for us in the world. So this is like dreamed I saw. That you can write. Dreamed I saw a building with 1,000 floors, 1,000 windows. So this only two lines you have to write. Okay. Now the third one. Come to the last one, that is, we are hunted down and tormented with will always live in fear of being found. This is like 10,000 soldiers. So that one. So it is the last one. 10,000 soldiers march to and fro looking for you and me. Now they are looking for you and me. Now let's come to the last, that is the question number 11. Read out the following poetic devices. Now see, for hyperbole, where exaggeration is being used, is the use of exaggeration as a rhetorical device or figure of speech. So you can take like, if we let them in, they will steal our bread. Like if you let anybody into your country or your place, how can they steal your earnings? The things which are earning. You go out to the office, you attend your office, you get salaries, you get payment. How can those people, they can rob those things? No, they cannot, because it's coming every month. And that is your livelihood. They cannot take away your livelihood. So this is exaggeration. So you can write this one. If we let them in, they can steal our bread. Now let's see the metaphor. Metaphor is again like a simile. Not exactly simile, but as and like words are missing, but still. So this you can do the very first. Say the city has 10 million of souls. Like in cities, obviously the people live, and so it is compared to as a 10 million souls. The city has been compared to that. Okay, so it's metaphor. Imagery. Imagery is like in the poetry when something is being described so beautifully and a picture is formed in your mind. Sometimes the picture is formed in your mind. So about that snow you can write, no? Like stood on a great plain, that one. Last paragraph, stood on a great plain in the falling snow. So when you read this line, you can just imagine that scenery, the snow falling, that scenery. So this is that imagery, and that is visual imagery, means through eyes, you can visualize, imagine. Oral, which you can hear. So that is, they had no politicians, no, that one. Where the birds are singing. Where is it? It is the third last paragraph. They had no politicians and sang at their ease. Sang. So when you can hear that oral imagery, that is oral imagery. Now come to the last one, rhyming scheme. You all know that it is A, and B. See, take the first paragraph. All the paragraphs are same same rhyming scheme. You know, A, A, B. So the first one, say the city has 10 million souls. Some are living in mansions, some are living in holes. So souls and holes, they are rhyming. So A, A. Whereas the last line, yet there is no place for us, my dear, yet there is no place for us. So us is not rhyming with, so it becomes B. So A, A, B. So the same rhyming scheme is in the whole poem. Okay. So with this we come to our end. And now homework, you can jot down the homework. I am giving you some questions which you will be doing in your P&P. So your P&P homework. This is your P&P homework. Okay. So question number. This is question number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. These questions you have to do in your P&D, whereas the other questions I will be giving you to do it in your fair copy. Okay, these questions I will be giving you, and this is question number 1, 3, 8, 9, 8 and 9. So these 4 questions I will be giving. This you have to do it in your fair copy. Okay. So thank you.